Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're doing the Shrine of Secrets review for the 9th of December 2020. Sorry I haven't been tweeting a whole lot, and sorry that this is a few days late. I've been very busy. It's that time of year, you know, so I've been very busy with like school and also just personal things and everything, so I'm sorry I've been slacking a bit and haven't tweeted for like a week or so of however long it's been. But I'm here now. We're back with a Shrine of Secrets review, and this is the series where we go over the Shrine of Secrets. There's 2 killer perks and 2 survivor perks. We go over what they do, what characters they come with, how they change in different level ups, and how they just work. And at the end I'll give my thoughts on which ones you should use your iridescent shards towards to buy. I would normally recommend DLC perks, but I'm actually going to be changing the series a little bit here because I just found recently a lot of the perks on here have just been ones that you like come with the default characters, like sprint bursts and things, so you can only get blood points, or if they have been DLC ones, then they've just not been good DLC ones. So normally I would say 1 survivor perk to buy and 1 killer perk to buy. Sometimes I don't say any at all, but like mainly it's like 1 of each. But I think from now on I'm going to just do it so it's just whatever perks, not having 1 of the 2 survivor perks to buy and 1 of the 2 killer perks to buy. It will just be overall, because sometimes I'm like, don't get any, and like, I don't know, I'm just going to change it up, I think. So that way it's just a bit more lenient towards everything, you know. Hope that made sense. But you know, I just found it was just like, oh, I don't say buy any survivor perks, but keep getting the killer ones, you know. But of course this is all just my opinion, so it's just to help kind of poke you in the direction a bit if you're maybe newer, or if you're still experienced like me, because I don't have every perk in the game, I don't have every character in the game, so it's just to help you get in the right direction, I guess. So we're going to get started. We have some interesting perks today. First of all, we have Soul Survivor, which is a Laurie Strode perk, and this one is garbage. This is really not good. So every time a fellow survivor is killed or sacrificed, you gain a token for the perk. For each token, your aura cannot be read by the killer within a max range of 20 meters for each kill or sacrifice survivor. At tier 2 that is 22 meters, and at tier 3 that's 24 meters. This increases your chance of being the killer's obsession, and like with all obsession perks, the killer can only be obsessed with 1 survivor at a time. So you can probably already see why this isn't a good perk, because it gets more powerful and actually does something when your teammates die, and teammates dying isn't really a good thing, I would say. I would rather be using perks to help keep them alive, and just perks to help us survive. It's just a bit weird to have a perk that does things but only wants a valuable part of the game from survivor side. It gets disrupted. You have to have people die for this to do something, and then the actual effect that it does isn't really even that powerful. 24 meters from aura reading, from like barbecue nurses calling and stuff. I'd rather use distortion, but like even then, literally I would just suck it up, you know. Use a locker for barbecue nurses. I know you can't really do anything about that, but I'd rather just face getting my aura read or using distortion than this perk that will get rid of my aura, well not get rid of, but reduce my aura reading by having my teammates die. It's just, no. Just use perks that keep you all alive. Yeah, not much else to say. Next up we have Spirit Fury, which is a spirit perk, and I really like this one. This one has an interesting perk combo I'll talk about in a minute. You probably already know what it is, but basically for this perk, after you break 4 pallets, which is 3 pallets at tier 2 and 2 pallets at tier 3, god there are so many numbers today, the next time you are stunned by a pallet, the entity will instantly break the pallet for you, but you still suffer from the stun effect penalty. So you're in a chase, they drop the pallet on you and you get stunned. However, you still suffer that cooldown of where the killer cries out in pain, and the pallet will get broken for you instantly. So it saves you a bit of time from having to break that. At the same time, when you use this perk by yourself, it will still give the survivor that distance, because you're still suffering the long stun penalty. I mean, it's not that long, but you know what I mean. They can still, you know, get to a window or something, get to an annoying ass loop. Using it by yourself still does give you value. I'm not saying that it doesn't. I still use this perk a lot by itself, and it still gives me value and helps me in chases and things. But you can combine this with the perk Enduring, however you want to say it, because I've been calling it Enduring this whole time. And Enduring has it so it reduces the stun penalty effect by 50%, so you don't get stunned for as long. So if you combine that with Spirit Fury, which breaks the pallet instantly when you get stunned, you lose the pallet's gone instantly, and you get stunned for, I think it's literally less than a second. Sorry about that. This is really effective. This is really good for killers who have to eat a lot of pallets and are very M1 in chase, so like Wraith and Pig and things like that. Killers who, when they're chasing someone, can't really do anything with their powers, so they just have to be a person with a weapon, pretty much. Sorry about that. You get rid of the pallet instantly, and you get stunned for literally less than a second, and you can just carry on as if nothing even happened, and that's what happens. You just don't lose any distance at all. But like I said, you can still use this by yourself, so keep that in mind. It's a great perk, I love it. Sorry man, my throat is burning today. Next up we have Up the Ante, which is a Ace perk, and Ace's perks are just whatever. I just don't really like them, to be honest, but this one especially is just like, what? So basically for this one, for each other survivor that is still alive, you get a 1% bonus of luck to all remaining survivors. At tier 2 that's 2%, and at tier 3 that's 3%. Again, this one is not very good. I see a lot of people using this when I play Survivor. I always see that icon in the bottom, and it really, because luck in this game only affects, if I'm correct, getting out bear traps from the trapper, or coving off the hook on your first hook, and I think that literally is all luck applies to. And I would, again, it does apply to you as well, I'm pretty sure. So I guess if you're doing a Slippery Meat Deliverance Jar of Salty Lips build, then this is amazing, I guess. But other than that, this one is really really not impactful. You will not feel any difference pretty much using this, except, like I said, if they're using all those offerings and it's very obvious they're trying to do a Kobe build. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, not good. We're going to move on. Finally we have Pug Goes the Weasel, which is a clown perk, and this is probably one of the best Gen Regress perks in the game, sorry about that. And it did get nerfed a little bit recently, but it's still really good to use, and it's very viable. Basically, you hook someone, and for the next 35 seconds, at tier 2 that's 40 seconds, and at tier 3 that's 45 seconds, you have to go and kick a gen in that time period. And if you do, it will apply an extra 25% progress regression. It would do that instantly. But it still regresses normal after the damage has been done. And yeah, pretty much. So before, this used to be like tier 3 was like 60 seconds, so you had a whole minute. It's basically just to make killers kick the gen before they commit chases and things. I will say recently I found that survivors do get a lot of distance, because I have to not waste time, but use up time to go and kick a gen. And that will give them time to run away, and then I can't find them, or it just takes ages to get to them, or they just go to an annoying gas loop and I have to leave them, or just commit for ages. So I wouldn't say this is good on every killer. I would say I still use it on most of my killers, but I think especially for killers with high mobility, this is really good. Spirit, Wraith, even like Demogorgon, I would say, if there's portals and everything. Because just getting around the map. But again, I still use this on like a Cannibal. I don't know who else. I think I use Ghostface maybe, but especially killers, like I said, who have high mobility. But you can use it on everyone. But probably maybe prioritize using it on high mobility killers, but also take in mind that ruining and dying is a thing now, and most people just use that combo, so this perk doesn't really get used as much. But again, it's still good at what it does. 25% progress is really devastating, especially in the late game. Even in the early game it's good, but late game, this is devastating. If you're downing people all the time and getting hooks and getting around the map alright, then yeah, this will just cripple the team. And 25% progress. Again, so if it hasn't been repaired enough, it will just completely reset. But it's just, this is very powerful. It's not as good, like I said, as it used to be, but that doesn't mean it's still not good, because it is still amazing. So keep that in mind. Also, this is a clown perk, and it's kind of a situation like Cannibal, where he has one really good perk, and then his other ones are just kind of like alright. This is basically the same thing as Clown, so keep that in mind. Now we're going to go for the perks that I think you should buy in the Shrine this week, and I would probably just say the 2 killer perks. I would probably say Spirit Fury the most, because it's good for newer players, but also just experienced players. I was going to say survivors again. Experienced players who just play killers who M1 a lot, and like I said, have like no really pressure in chases. They're just a person with a weapon. You can combine this with Enduring for an extra powerful effect, and it will basically make pallets not do anything. It will just be basically nothing will happen, pretty much. It's just a slight inconvenience. You don't lose any distance. But like I said, you can still use this on killers by itself, and it will still give you value. And like I said, I've still won chases and matches and things just because I have that extra few seconds without brutal strength where the pallet's gone instantly, and it means they can't use it. I used to use this on Doctor a lot when I played Doctor back in the day, and I found that really good on him. But again, I only use that just by itself, so I would say that. But also, I would say get Pop Goes the Weasel if you don't have it already. Clown's other perks, Colorophobia, and what is his other perk? Bamboozle. I mean, they're alright. They're okay, but it's a Cannibal situation where his one perk here is just amazing, and the other ones are just like fine. 25% regression instantly is great. It's easy to get that. You just need to hook someone, as long as you can get to a gen. If it's 99s, you will definitely feel the shock, the effects that it has. But yeah, just keep in mind that for some killers, you just have to take consideration that you will probably lose distance on survivors if you have to waste time at the start to go kick a gen before you commit to someone. So just keep that in mind. But again, killers like Spirit, Wraith, Nurse, whatever. Well, Nurse doesn't need general regress perks, but it's just good to get around the map a lot more conveniently. But again, I'm saying you can use this on most killers. I use this on a lot of killers, and it does good. It does its job well. I wouldn't get any survivor ones because they're just not good. So yeah, there, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Again, I'm sorry about the lack of existence lately, but hopefully I can not step it up, but I'll still just try and be a bit more organized, I guess. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.